Did you miss the Arbitrum airdrop? Well, if you did, this video is for you because I am going to be showing you the next 5 crypto airdrops that I'm looking forward to. This video is a part 2 to a video that I did a few days ago, which I will link in the description, which went over 5 of my favorite airdrops. These are the other 5 that I'm looking forward to that I didn't get a chance to mention in the last video, but these 5, in my opinion, are just as good as the ones I mentioned then, but we aren't sacrificing on quality because these 5 are still airdrops that I'm really excited about and think have potential to be the next Arbitrum. Before we get into the 5 airdrops, just a quick disclaimer. Just because you do some of these activities that I'll outline doesn't mean you are guaranteed a crypto airdrop. Airdrops are unpredictable, and at the end of the day, we are just putting ourselves into the best possible position to receive an airdrop. There is no guarantees. So, of course, the more you do, the higher chance you have of getting an airdrop. It is a game of persistence. It's also a game of luck. But at the end of the day, the more shots you take, the more chance you have of scoring. But don't be reckless or use funds you're not willing to lose. Make sure you know what you're doing whenever you're interacting with DeFi. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The first airdrop that I'm looking forward to is Shardeum. Shardeum is an EVM-based layer 1 that uses dynamic state sharding to achieve linear scalability whilst attaining atomic composability across shards. It's kind of like what Near Protocol tried to do with sharding, except Shardeum is an L1 fully optimized for sharding, and I'm pretty excited about it because it could potentially offer a very high throughput and scalability as a result of this architecture. Now, Shardeum has a lot of backing. It did raise $18.2 million at a $200 million valuation. As you guys know, one of my prerequisites for looking at tokens that could have airdrops is, do they have big backers and do they have backing? Because projects with backing are more likely, generally speaking, to conduct an airdrop. So how would I put myself in a position to receive a Shardeum airdrop? There are a few steps that I think could be required. The first step is using the testnet and requesting funds from the faucet. You can do this on the Shardeum website. There's a link in the description to a thread which has all of these details attached if you want any of the resources. Once you're set up on the testnet and you have some funds on the testnet, the next thing you can do is interact with some DeFi. There's an application called Swapped, which is a DEX on Shardeum that you can interact with, conduct some swaps, provide some liquidity, etc., just to get moving on the ecosystem. The third thing I do is I look at creating an NFT on the Shardeum Liberty testnet. You can do this on 𝗧𝗿𝗆𝗄𝗏𝗋. Once again, links in the description. And number 4, I would mint a Shardeum name on testnet. That will enable you to get your own custom Shardeum domain name. Now, remember with the airdrops, the more you do, the better. So just interacting with the ecosystems is the best thing that you can possibly do because these projects are just looking for genuine interactions. The reason airdrops exist and the reason why airdrops are so lucrative is because projects are fighting with each other. It's a super competitive space, especially this L1 and L2 space. They're all fighting for a piece of the pie, and one way they fight for that piece of the pie is via giving away token incentives to you, the users. And at the end of the day, us as users end up benefiting from that in the form of airdrops. So they just want genuine interaction, give them that interaction, and you put yourself in a good position to get an airdrop. Airdrop number 2 that I'm looking forward to is Lens Protocol. Now, essentially, Lens Protocol is a Web3 social graph built on the Polygon proof of stake blockchain. It allows you to unify your profile across social apps like YouTube and Twitter and content across Lens-powered apps. There is a high chance that they will be conducting an airdrop, and to put yourself in a position to get one, what I would do is 1, claim a Lens profile or buy a profile on OpenSea. 2, follow people on Lens Friends. 3, update your profile and post on Lenster. 4, publish a video on LensTube. 5, earn Lenster Discord roles, so make sure to join their Discord and earn some roles over there. And 6, trade your posts and mint others' posts on Lensport. There's a link in the description to my master thread, which has a thread by 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 protocol airdrop, but most of the requirements revolve around using the Lenster application, getting a profile, getting set up, and genuinely, authentically interacting with the ecosystem. Before we get into airdrop number 3, I want to remind you that we're conducting a huge giveaway in partnership with OKX, where we're giving away a Tesla to a lucky winner. Over the next 2 months, we are giving away a plethora of prizes, starting with an iPhone 14, then a MacBook Pro, then 2 tickets to a Manchester City game, then a 7 nights holiday to the Maldives, and of course, the $43,000 Tesla Model 3. So to potentially win one of these prizes over the next couple of months, what you can do is you can click the link in the description to sign up for an OKX account and register for the exclusive giveaway. Every $10,000 worth of trading volume that you accumulate, you get 5 raffle tickets. So the more you trade, the more raffle tickets you can earn, the more chance you have of winning some of these prizes. Now, just to clarify, this doesn't mean you need to deposit $10,000 or trade $10,000. That would be insane. It just means you need cumulative volume of $10,000. So you could trade $1,000 on 10x leverage, and that would be enough volume accumulated for 5 raffle tickets. If you did that with $100, you'd need to open 10 trades to make 10,000. So it's not a crazy amount. Of course, don't trade with any money you can't afford to lose, and don't force trades just to enter the competition. That's stupid. Trade as you normally would, work your way up to winning some raffle tickets, and potentially qualify for one of these massive prizes. Of course, the Tesla is the big one. The sooner you get trading, the more tickets, the higher chance you have of winning it. So link in the description to that, and good luck to everyone. I hope one of you wins the Tesla. Airdrop number 3 is Fuel Network. Fuel Network is built by Fuel Labs, who are building the world's fastest modular execution layer. Modularism allows execution layers to leverage Ethereum security without being restricted by the limitations of the EVM. Transactions execute on Fuel VM, their virtual machine. We can see how it works here. You have Ethereum, which acts as the settlement, consensus, and data availability layer, and then you stack Fuel on top of it as an execution layer in order to alleviate congestion off the Ethereum network. And Fuel can also be implemented with other blockchains, and it can execute and settle on top of other chains like Celestia, because it is a modular execution layer. Celestia is a modular blockchain. Now, Fuel has some big backers. They raised $80 million, led by Blockchain Capital and Stratos Technologies. They also have Coin Fund, Bain Capital, Spartan Group, Maven, Dialectic, etc., all as backers. So Fuel Labs, being a big layer 2, likely going to have an airdrop. In order to get an airdrop, there are a few steps that you can complete. Now, Rect Fencer did a great thread which outlines some of these steps. The first thing that you want to do is get your hands on a Fuel Labs wallet. You can do this on wallet.fuel.network/docs/install. Download the wallet and add to your Chrome extensions. After you do that, you will need to get testnet tokens from their faucet, which is the way that you get tokens so you can use and interact with their testnet. The next thing you want to do is test your wallet, then leave feedback in the Discord, and then start using some of the applications in the Fuel Network ecosystem. For example, 𝗧𝗿𝗆𝗍, which allows you to swap assets just as you would on a DEX. Remember, these are testnet tokens, so you're not spending real money, you're using play money essentially, and you're just playing around and using the ecosystem. The more dApps you use, the better. So for example, you've got Thunderbird, which is an NFT marketplace that you can use, and other applications as well. And maybe you could even deploy a smart contract on Fuel if you want to go a step further. Use ChatGPT to code it to potentially qualify for an airdrop. Now, their mainnet, just like a lot of projects, will be launching sometime soon in the near future. So right now, the best thing you can do is those steps to qualify via the testnet. I do imagine once the mainnet launches, that will open up more potential airdrop opportunities. So I would look forward to that also to get involved in. But for now, use the testnet, get involved in the ecosystem, as it definitely could be a requirement. It may not be the major requirement, but at least you're getting a head start on the rest of the pack by using the testnet. Airdrop number 4 is Sei Network. Now, Sei Network is basically a layer 1 specialized to enable trading. So it is the ultimate trading blockchain that allows you to spin up a DEX and provide shared liquidity amongst its liquidity pools. So Sei is very cool because it is one of the only niche specific blockchains that is designed to be able to power scalable DEXs. And it does this through 5 pillars of its blockchain, including a native order matching engine, a breaking Tendermint consensus, twin turbo consensus, front-running protection, and market-based parallelization. They're backed by some big names. They didn't raise much capital, but they're still backed by Multicoin, Coinbase, Delphi, Hypersphere, GSR. So they've got some big backers. And I definitely think they're going to have an airdrop because they actually did a tweet saying 1% of the Sei token supply is allocated to our incentivized testnet and rewarding early members of the Sei community who use the chain. So unlike a lot of other chains that aren't really that clear as to whether they're having an airdrop, Sei has been very explicit saying that they will have an airdrop. So to potentially get a Sei airdrop, there are a few tasks that you can do right now. The first thing you want to do is join the Sei Discord, because that's where you're going to get all your updates on their latest developments, as well as join a community of fellow airdrop hunters who will likely be discussing requirements amongst each other. So make sure to join all of the communities, but specifically this one, because I know that they are launching their mainnet potentially soon. So I would check that out. So Sei is an airdrop that I have on my watch list, and I'm staying involved with that ecosystem. I did tell you guys about Sei almost 6 months ago. And 6 months ago, you would have had a chance to complete the first set of tasks, the second, the third, and the fourth set. So you'd be very well positioned by now. But for the ones that are late, I think your best bet's just waiting in the Discord, waiting for mainnet, and getting updated on testnet. Of course, you can still use testnet and get involved, so it may be worth doing some interactions over there. But yeah, I've been talking about some of these for quite some time. So it does pay to pay attention, of course, in crypto, but you'll be able to get new information over in the Discord. Now, the fifth one is one that you're probably already using right now, but don't even know you're working towards an airdrop, but you probably should, because I think the airdrop will be one of the biggest in crypto. But before we get into it, I just want to remind you that you should keep yourself safe when you're doing these airdrops. So one way you can do that is through a VPN. I recommend using any VPN because it's going to keep you safe. It's going to protect your IP, especially if you're interacting with DeFi applications using your Metamask. You want to keep your funds and identity safe online. So just get a VPN, use a VPN. If you do want to use one, there's a link in the description, which will give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as a 61% discount to NordVPN. It's only $3 a month to protect potentially thousands of dollars worth of funds and your digital identity, which is important. So link in the description to access NordVPN. But as I said, any VPN is going to do the trick. Just make sure you have one whenever you are interacting with these apps, and make sure you don't use any money you're not willing to lose. Don't go stupid. A lot of testnets, you're just using testnet tokens, so it doesn't matter so much from a financial point of view, but some times you do have to make decisions whether to invest real capital into airdrops, like if you're minting a name on a naming service, or if you're bridging over Ethereum and there's gas fees, etc. So, just make sure you're not using money that you're not willing to lose, and also just limit your expectations. The more you do, the higher chance you have of getting airdrops, of course, but don't expect just because you did one thing that you're guaranteed thousands of dollars. I mean, airdrops are great because they're essentially free money, but I mean, you know how the world works, guys. It's not always just free money. There needs to be some sort of effort that goes in for you to get a reward on the other side. So just be aware of that. The airdrop that I mentioned, that was something that you're probably using and working towards an airdrop in the background, is Metamask. Now, Metamask, for a long time, we've heard about them potentially getting a token. I think we're getting closer now. I don't know why it's taken them this long, but I do think at some point Metamask will need a way to monetize. They're the biggest crypto wallet, and it just makes sense that they do monetize through a token. We've seen swap volumes hit all-time highs this month. We've also seen, metrics on Metamask continuously to tick upwards throughout the year. Of course, it had that down period last year, but in general, it's been pretty strong. It's still the biggest wallet, and it's likely going to have an airdrop. Now, you've probably already done a lot of things on Metamask to put yourself in a position to get an airdrop, but there are a few little features that I would definitely look at using. And by the way, for the people asking whether it is going to get an airdrop, they did do a Series D funding round, and when companies do funding rounds, usually an easy way for them to get ROI on their investment is to have a token. It's just an easy way to get capital back in the hands of investors. So this alludes to the fact that they probably will have an airdrop. But of course, to get that airdrop, there's probably a lot of stuff you're already doing, like, just bridging and just adding funds to your MetaMask, using DeFi, etc. But make sure you use the inbuilt wallet features. This is a way that they're probably going to differentiate different tiers of airdrop users. It's the people that have used the inbuilt swap function on the wallet. So this little swap button here that you probably never use because you probably use the DEX, use it, because that could be a way for you to potentially get an airdrop. Also, use the MetaMask bridge. They already launched their own MetaMask bridge aggregator that a lot of people aren't using. So it's portfolio.metamask.io/bridge. If you bridge funds on that network a few times, I think that's probably going to help you qualify for the airdrop. Keep using the most popular dApps. Use the big dApps. Also, use small dApps. Just use your MetaMask in general. You're probably already doing it. And another thing you can do is use your MetaMask to donate on Gitcoin grants. This may cost a bit of money, but it may be another thing that you can do. So there's a few individual things you can do. Also, holding NFTs NFTs is another thing. But just make sure to use the inbuilt wallet features, because surprisingly, most people probably don't. They usually just use their MetaMask, put funds on, maybe they do some swapping on DEXs, but a lot of people don't swap and bridge using the inbuilt MetaMask functions. That could be a requirement. Also, just holding assets in your MetaMask and not just using it as a proxy wallet could also be a requirement. So that is something that you can do to get your hands on an airdrop. This one is going to be massive if it does eventually happen, but it will be very diluted. So you need to do things to put yourself ahead of the pack, because basically everyone has a MetaMask. How do you put yourself ahead? Well, you use the inbuilt wallet features. And of course, just by doing normal crypto trading on an application like Apex, that will be using the normal wallet features, as you have to use your MetaMask in order to sign off on transactions on Apex. So if you do want a good place to trade, by the way, I think Apex is one of the best DEXs in crypto because it is an order book exchange. They have liquidity on chain and they use ZK rollups as a way to power their DEX. So it's extremely fast and has very low fees. It's much lower fees than some of the other Oracle-based exchanges that you might use. So I do think Apex is a great place to trade. They also have quite a lot of trading pairs now. They only launched with a few, but now they have 12 trading pairs. Obviously, Bitcoin, ETH, they have pretty good liquidity there. So I think Apex is a great place to trade, and they're also Bybit affiliated as well. So they've got the Bybit tick of approval. So there's a link in the description if you do want a place to trade on a DEX, a fast place to trade, a cheap place to trade, and it is trade to earn. So one reason to use Apex would be the more you trade, the more you earn, because you earn banner rewards, which you can then claim. And then you can use these banner rewards. I mean, you could just sell them to make money, or you could stake them to earn even more money in their staking pools. They have LP pools that pay back a percentage of fees back to stakers. So there is a trade to earn program. The more you trade, the more you earn. So if you are a big trader and you use a DEX, or even if you just want a way to monetize your trading a little bit, I think a good place to do it would be Apex. So link in the description to that if you do want to trade. Now, if you want to check out part 1 to this video, there is a link in the description. I went through 5 other airdrops. I'm basically just trying to prep you guys for the best airdrop opportunities after Arbitrum to make sure you are ready. So I'm going to keep making airdrop content. But for now, you do have 10 opportunities that you can start getting involved with. You don't need to do them all, by the way. Don't get overwhelmed. Pick your favorites. Pick the ones that you genuinely like using. For example, the reason I got an Arbitrum airdrop is because I genuinely liked using the ecosystem. I was trading on DEXs over there. I enjoyed bridging to Arbitrum. It was just a lot of fun. So, I used the network, had fun, and received an airdrop as a reward. You guys should take the same approach. If any of these projects today stand out to you, use them. If they don't, you don't have to use them. You don't have to force it. It just makes it so much easier when you just use stuff you genuinely like and ecosystems you genuinely enjoy using, or at least ones that aren't painful to use. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to stick to a long-term airdrop strategy. So I know I gave you 10 between today and the other day's video, but you just pick 3 or 4 that you like and really focus on them and get a calendar going to make sure you're regularly adhering to an airdrop farming strategy. If airdrop farming is part of your portfolio, maybe you're a whale and you don't need airdrops, but I think for anyone with a portfolio of less than $10,000, it probably is the best way to get a real leg up in crypto. And even for me, who has more than that, I still, enjoy getting multi-$1,000 airdrops when I get them. It's still like a good feeling to get free money, and basically, it's just a good feeling to be rewarded for, using applications in DeFi. So it does pay to degen sometimes, but remember to do it in a safe manner. Don't risk capital you're not willing to lose. And until the next video, I will see you later. Have a lovely day. Peace out.